It's Rick Grimes. Well, season 1 Rick Grimes has got his Officer Friendly outfit on. Looking for Coral. Where's Coral? There's Coral. What the hell happened to his hat? He had a hat. Just kept. Ugh. It fell. It's like right over there. Darn it. I can't even, reach over it because then I'm gonna knock Michonne and Morgan down. I don't really want to deal with that right now. Yeah, this is my Walking Dead little collection thing. Still have a few guys missing. You got Beth over here. You've already met Rick. You got Carol leaning against the wall. You got Daryl over there leaning against the wall. Herschel. Sean Morgan. Random bobblehead zombie. Bob. Abe. And you got Eugene all the way in the back. And you got T-Dog. And I've got Glenn here somewhere, but I haven't taken him out yet. Like right here. Glenn. And I don't have Maggie. What the hell? I gotta go find a Maggie. Yeah, this is just my little collection. It's not the best action figure for it. Trust me, these guns, these little accessories, they're a pain in the butt to put up there, put in their hands. It's all crooked half the time. A couple of accessories I have in a bin because they snap, because it's the plastic just wouldn't hold together. You got Carl's pudding right here. Just like that. My shelf is so dusty. You can see this, look. I just cleaned this last week. It's just really dusty. Oh, God. Yeah, I gotta do something about that. I got more accessories here. It just gets so dusty real quick. I'm gonna have to do something where I don't know. I have one of those enclosed cases for it. Where you can set your action figure with a clear box. I got it from like a container store or something. But once I do that though, I won't be able to like set them up this way. So I'm just gonna have to do it the hard way and take them all down and wipe it all up again and set them all back up. Yep. I don't even want to look at what's up there because it's some time. You got Thundercats and Star Trek, some random Bob's and toys. Yep. I love collectibles, but they're kind of a pain to keep clean. So yeah. Again, these are not the best action figures if you're like hardcore collectors. I'm sure you know about this already. The articulation is not that great. Sometimes it's hard to get them to stand up. It's because they're, I don't know, it's just not the best. But I'm not going to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars just to collect something. It's just kind of for fun. I like to surround my desk with things I love and enjoy as a fan, so this is to the direct right of my desk. I look up and the whole, well, not the whole, most of Rick Grimes' troop is over here. Yep. I'll clean it and show you guys the clean version. Sorry about the dust. Okay. Hey, what's up everyone? It is December 26th, 4:12 p.m. as I'm recording this. I'm actually starting the stopwatch on my timer on my phone just to keep tabs of how long I've been talking, because this is actually going to be placed on a video that's about 25 minutes long, so I kind of want to keep tabs and not ramble on and on and on. So I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Went by too quickly this season, I believe. Way too quickly. I'm also I've got a new setup here. I still have my Blue Yeti, but I actually got a Asus Transformer Mini for Christmas, and I have this pop filter that I
bought with this Blue Yeti a long ways back, a year and a half ago, a couple of years ago. Just haven't bothered using it, but I actually have it mounted on the Blue Yeti this time, see if the audio improves even just a little bit. So also I was kind of messing around with the audio settings for this Asus transformer. It's pretty cool. Probably gonna try to do a review of it once I kind of have everything set up. As it is, I've got work again tomorrow, so I'm trying to pack everything in the next few hours just to try to record this audio for the video update, just because it's been 2 weeks. I meant to actually upload this last week, but instead of recording audio, I just ran out of time. I was messing around and working on Photoshop and trying to design an end card for my channel. And the end card is that part at the end of your channel where you can, prompt people to either subscribe to you, watch another video, that sort of thing. But the thing is, they don't really give you a lot of specs on the size of the video that you overlay on top of it. So I was kind of guessing as to how small or large I can expand it into. And what happened is I have a cool design that I put together, but of course it wouldn't scale down any further. It's probably not making sense to people that haven't done an end card, but you know what I'm talking about when you're trying to resize that little preview of the clickable part of the video that you're trying to embed and promote. So I had to alter that real quick, but I spent like last week working on the end card on that one. I don't know why, I just kind of got hung up on it and designing it. Looking back now, I should have actually just recorded on audio and went ahead and just published that, but whatever. I'm actually going to try to see if it works out with this new end card that I have. If not, I'll just throw back the regular end credits, which is just a link to my site, or just a URL to my site. So I don't want to overcomplicate it. It's already 4, and I kind of want to draw because, I need to. I've actually got a whole bunch of art supplies for Christmas. I just sent my family a bunch of links to stuff that I wanted and needed. So I got a bunch of color pencils, some illustration boards, tone paper, some nib holders, and a few new nibs, and like a small jar of black ink. What else? A couple other things that I got that I'm not gonna get to test it out today, but gonna try to carve out some time during this week. Knock on wood. Always trying to carve out some time to draw, or at least experiment with something new. Anyway, I actually made some show notes on this. Made a list of topics, but I'm not sure if I'm going to stick to that. I have my little notebook next to me. Because initially, I have on my notebook, it says December 18. I was going to do a weekly roundup of that. That week was kind of rough. I was actually sick for a few days that week. And I went to work anyways. Not feeling 100%, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And had some other topics I wanted to cover. Because that week was not just rough physically, but I was just all over the place. Scatterbrains, pretty stressed out. Just feeling down and out in general, So I was going to discuss that then, but it doesn't seem relevant right now just because, I don't know, just doesn't feel like much of a big deal now. It's amazing how much just letting it go for a week will change your perspective on a lot of things. It just basically means it's not worth worrying about certain things that most people spend a lot of time stressing out about. So yeah, hope everybody had a happy holidays. And around this time of the year, I think everybody becomes gets into the introspective kind of mode where you're looking back in the last year and see what went well and what didn't go well, and what you wanted to do that you didn't get done, and you're trying to plan for the next year, have grand plans of what you want to accomplish. I'm actually not doing that. I just want to focus on my current projects, just because it's one of those things where I'm trying to focus on the things that I actually want to improve on art-wise. My ink work is part of it, and another part is just working on my fan art, like portrait type stuff. Because prior to doing a lot of ink work, I was doing a lot of just for fun, like fan art, not really selling it, just for me, just because I enjoyed the properties, like movies, like TV shows. So when I felt like it, I would draw the characters in that movie or those TV shows just for fun. And it's also a good way to hone your skills on, likenesses and portraits and capturing somebody's essence, that sort of thing. But it's not like you can just sit down and, well, not to me anyway, maybe some people can, but I can't just sit down and draw a portrait that I'm satisfied with in, I don't know, like a few hours. I've never really timed myself, but I know I just want to take my time. I'm not really conscious of how long it takes. I just want to, when I start a portrait drawing, I just work on it until it feels like it's done. So I've never really tracked down the amount of time I spend on that. Also, it all depends on size, and typically I work small scale just because I don't have a whole lot of time to devote to it, unfortunately. However, that's something I want to change, because I kind of I'm consciously making an effort to bump up the size of my drawings in general. Case in point, some of the art supplies that I received for Christmas from my family are larger surfaces. Not like huge, but just larger than like postcard size, or like larger than 9x12s. Probably like 11x14s, 11x17s, that sort of thing. Just because it will allow me to get more into the details and spend more time with it, rather than being constrained by a small surface. But I think that's the frustrating thing about... Okay, let me back up real quick. Trying to enjoy artwork just for the sake of creating art for me, but also being conscious about creating things that I can eventually down the line create prints of, or just promote as products, as this is something I made and I'm making it available for purchase, that sort of thing. Besides the ink work, I'm really quite fond of pencil drawings, and next to that, I have a lot of ideas for more cartoony type illustrations. However, having very little time to devote to this due to full-time job and other responsibilities, I'm having to choose which ones to focus on, and which is fine. But here's the thing: it's quite frustrating when it feels like you're getting this one thing done, but on the other hand, you're not improving on the other thing because you don't have time to work on it. And before you know it, it gets overwhelming, because it becomes like a scatterbrain thing where you want to work on improving how many different aspects of your art. Because I'm not so much worried about style. I just want to. It's just something I need to do for myself. Like I want to improve on inks and I want to improve on portraits. It's more for me, not for anything, not for anybody else, not for a client. And yeah, right now my main hurdle is just time, you know. And I'm not going to distract myself. There's a lot of distractions. I'm not going to distract myself and spread myself too thin with, you know, like just trying too many things all at once. So I really have to make myself sit down and just tell myself, right now, this is all I'm working on. And that's that. So far, so good. I'm coming along with the projects, the ink projects that I'm working on. You know, the smaller scale, like sketch card size ink, abstract drawings, as well as the grid series. It's moving along nicely. Not as fast as I would like to. However, for the amount of time that I dedicate to it, I'm not doing all that bad. So that's another thing. Yeah, it's just too hard on myself. I think I think a lot of artists are, you know, just however much you do, it's just never enough because it doesn't feel like it's enough. And even if you produce this amount of pages a day or this amount of sketches a day, it just feels like you didn't draw enough that day. But you kind of have to not beat yourself up so much because it starts affecting your drawings, I think, and it starts creeping into your psyche, I suppose, where after a while you're just like your worst enemy, and it doesn't feel like you're making any progress, even if you are, because all you're seeing are the negatives. So having said that, the last week and a half, it's not the most productive drawing wise, and I'm totally blaming that on the holidays. Yeah, it's just been crazy. It's just a lot of holiday type things going on. You know, you have to get gifts and such, which I didn't even really. I heard most of the stuff online because I hate crowds and didn't really have time to go out and all that stuff. But even then, it just flew by, the holidays. So I'd like to be better prepared next year. Also, work-wise, my day job, it was just, it's so intense. Some days when I get home, it's just like you just kind of melt into the couch and just turn into like a zombie. You want to shut your brain off. Last thing you want to do is think about storylines, think about the short story, and think about this, and what am I going to draw? What am I going to do with this drawing? Where am I taking this image? All that. There's just no time. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. It seems like I feel like I'm just complaining half the time, but actually, it's. If I have to look at it as you know, like a learning process. Everything's a learning process. If you look at it as that, what is the takeaway of this situation that is stressing me out so much? There is always a takeaway. So there's always a benefit and there's always a good side to it. So you know, you just have to pull yourself out from the scenario and think about the good stuff. No matter how difficult it is to see some days, you know. Yeah, I'm not doing a great job staying on my topic. Oh, there's one thing I wrote here. I was watching a Steven Silver video earlier. He's, if you're not familiar with him, go check out his channel. He's a great artist, and he's got this, he publishes a video every Monday, I believe. And the one I watched this morning is, I think it's entitled, How Come I'm having trouble focusing, or how come I can't focus. He was talking about, like he was having a hard time, just like he being scatterbrained, like just recently, and he couldn't figure out why. So what he did was just like look deeper into it rather than just setting it aside as like, oh well, I'm just having a bad week. Then he figured out through that it was the fact that he's always wanted to learn how to play guitar, but he just never really put any effort and time into it, because I don't know, life and work and family or whatever. But recently he's had the opportunity to actually explore that again, and lo and behold, that was why he could not focus. That's what was kind of creating a distraction in his state of mind. And I can totally relate to that. Not just because it's the guitar thing, because I actually used to play guitar. Actually was pretty damn good at it, and now I don't even own my guitar. I don't own a guitar at all. Even if I did get one today, I'd probably have to relearn a lot of things. But I used to love music a lot, and I can totally relate to that. About distractions, and sometimes you just feel a little off kilter and something's just out of whack and you can't quite put your finger on it, but it just feels wrong, even it feels like you're doing everything right, and you should be satisfied with everything. There's something like inside of you that's just not sitting right. It's totally true what he said. Just you have to step aside and look into what's making you feel that way, just because I think that's the problem these days. It's a lot of busy work just to do, for busy work's sake. Oh, I'm really busy. Everybody's busy. It's important to reflect on what it is you're doing. Again, this all comes back down to what I talk about all the time, just being deliberate about what you're doing. As in, what is it that's going to make you feel like you're going in the right direction in terms of your art? And creating a path to get there, Like, okay, for me, I want to just improve on inks and create things that bring satisfaction to, like, what I see in my head. I want to put it on paper. And I just want to improve my skills on that. And, like I said, with the portraits and, creating stories and creating products. So basically what I mean by that is, gotta wrap this up here shortly. It's 19 minutes in. Everything I do when it comes to art, I have to question it. It's like, how is this contributing to my goal? Or is it contributing at all? Or is it not? If I get this, how is that going to improve what I'm trying to do? Or do I need this in my life right now? Or do I really need to take up this hobby? Do I really need to get this book? Do I really need this tool? Or what kind of tools do I need to be able to express what's going on in my head and be able to transcribe that down on paper visually? So it's about being mindful about everything you're trying to do. Mindful and deliberate. Because if you start thinking about it that way, it gives you a direction to go to. Otherwise, you kind of fluttering around with no direction. Just kind of, let's get this. I don't know. Acrylics. Let's do acrylics when you're not. It's not in line with what you're trying to do. It's not congruent with what you're trying to accomplish with your art. So every purchase I make, everything that I do, I try to see if it benefits what my goals are art-wise, and with this business of art and everything else I'm trying to do. Yeah. So that's that. Oh, also, I hope you like that extra footage in the beginning of this video of my Walking Dead figures. I wanted to throw in something random and different. I actually need to start doing more stuff like that. The only problem is that it becomes kind of an editing challenge, and I'm trying to be good about how much time I dedicate with editing, because right now I want to draw and I want to publish, draw and publish. That's it. Editing would be nice, but I don't want to spend way too much time on that at the moment. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of things I've got to outline, because I've got tons of books and comics and graphic novels that I picked up. Just need to go through and read and enjoy and kind of analyze all that stuff. Might just do a quick, brief review of everything once I finish them. Also, tech reviews too. That sort of stuff. But anyways, I want to try to wrap this up. It's going on at 22 minutes. Hopefully this recorded just fine, and that it's not taking up too much space on this new computer I have, and that the quality is better than the one I did last week because of the pop filter. Yeah. And after this, I'm going to spend some time drawing tonight, hopefully a couple of hours at least, probably 3, and record that for the next video. That way I'm always a step ahead. And see you guys on the flip side. I will try to publish another video before the new year, more than likely next Saturday, ideally. So that's my goal. So again, thank you for listening, and if you like this channel, just feel free to subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.